Well, thanks, Chris. First of all, thank you guys for being here. I know there's a lot going on this week, opening football, but truly excited about the banner unveiling. You know, obviously we want to be focused on the 21 season, but you know, to be able to celebrate a championship, national championship, and Commissioner Sankey and President Capelouto being president, I mean, it shows a lot about our sport and what we've accomplished, and so excited for our players and families to be a part of that. It's going to be a special night for all involved, and also very thankful for a special friend of the program to be able to have a brand new floor for us to compete on, state-of-the-art Terraflex floor they use in the Olympics. So again, appreciative there. Going back to last weekend, you know, we won all 3 matches, but a couple things that stand out to me are we had 5 players average over 2 kills a set, which is pretty impressive your first weekend, and then also holding 3 opponents to, you know, something hitting percentage in 3 matches. So excited. The cool thing about this tournament this weekend is the 7th year that we've done this event with Creighton, Northern Iowa, and USC. We have 1 more year left in the contract, so we'll be at Creighton next year. Very special event, and a lot of teams around the country would love to be part of something like this. So excited for our fans to be in the gym with us, you know, and following the guidelines and protocols of COVID. Everyone in our program and team has had their first shot to this point, so staying healthy, and obviously with the mandate of the SEC, you know, being that there's forfeits if there's COVID issues this year, obviously it's important for us to stay safe and healthy through the season. And last note, hopefully Mother Nature is not too hot for Memorial Coliseum, so when the big crowd's there, we won't get too sweaty. But overall, we're excited about the next couple days.
We'll go to questions.
You had plenty of time to process a national championship, but have you thought about what your emotions might be like tomorrow night whenever that banner is unveiled?
Yeah, someone asked me if I was going to smile or have a tear in my eye, and I said hopefully both. You know, I mean, it just still get goosebumps thinking about, you know, the accomplishments of our program and our team last year, and but so proud, you know, so many people involved, and from our administration and you know, all our staff, from assistant coaches to trainers and strength trainers and all the former players that get a chance to look at that banner and know they're a small piece of it is very special.
How about personally? I mean, you're a select company, one of the few UK coaches that have won national championship. What does that actually mean to you from a personal standpoint?
You know, I was pretty scared to be a head coach when I first got into it. I didn't know whether this was my thing, and you know, but John, to be honest, I'm honored, you know, and proud, you know, excited for, again, for our players. I have won one as an assistant coach, been to Final Fours. I know what that feels like, and I'm just proud and ecstatic that our players got the chance to feel that, you know, when we did win it. But you know, I say it all the time. I never got into coaching to win national championships. I got in it to see people do things they've never done before, and so now that as a program we've done something that's never been done before is pretty special.
I think the last time we spoke with you, you talked about how this has been the accumulation of so many years of blood, sweat, and tears from so many people who maybe weren't here to actually win the title. Just in this period between winning it and now with the banner unveiling, have you had, you know, more communications with people that you've interacted with down the years from Kentucky volleyball, and if so, just what has that exchange been like?
Yeah, I mean, heard from a lot of alumni, a lot of former players, former coaches, former staff, fans, you know, friends of mine that weren't even part of Kentucky volleyball that excited for us and you know, what we've accomplished. So I mean, there's been an overwhelming outpouring of support from everybody involved, and you know, John said select company, and just the fact that we're the 11th program ever to win a national championship speaks to our sport and where it's come. And you know, to be one of the few that have done it is, I think, you know, a feather in our cap, and you know, something that everybody can be proud of. But yes, we've definitely had people reaching out.
Are any of the former players from last year's team going to be in attendance for the banner reveal tomorrow?
Physically, no. There may be something else involved, so they may be present in other ways.
Do you and John Calipari and Coach Mullins, do you get together and smoke cigars and just really celebrate?
Cigars, bourbon, eggs. We, you know, Monday mornings, you know, all the above. No, you know, Harry and I joke it's the Hall of Champions in our hallway where we are. So you know, Cal said he wanted to get an office near us. You know, no, I'm just joking. You know, I have to give a lot of credit to Coach Cal and Harry Mullins because I've, you know, talked to them over the years about all kinds of things to do with coaching and developing talent and teams, and you know, they're elite at what they do, and so I love picking their brain about this.
Speaking of rifle, they put a banner for rifle and volleyball outside of the Memorial Coliseum. You've seen those, what was your reaction to those?
I haven't seen in person. Someone sent a picture and took it and sent it to me. Case Stess did, and you know, pretty cool. I think on campus it's hard to know exactly where volleyball is and rifles. So when people on campus are coming up from central part of campus, going to the student center for them to see that, and again, you know, for our players to be recognized for those accomplishments, I think is absolutely deserving.
They say anybody can win one national championship, but if you win two, that really puts you in the select company.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell, I guess. You know, it's again, if that's the goal, that's the mission, and you know, we'll do everything we can to get another one.
Even something like getting the new Terraflex court, I think you mentioned last time we spoke that you have 11 national TV games scheduled for this coming season. Do you ever think back to, you know, when you took this job or maybe even some of the early years and realizing just the national attention and some of the nice things that have been added to the program now that you've, you know, accomplished what you've tried to?
I mean, yeah, back when Megan and I were begging our neighbors to come, and anyone that we meet at the kids' school and stuff like that to come and watch volleyball and see what it's all about, and knowing that at that point in time 50% of the high schools in the state had girls volleyball. So where we are now, I mean, again, I think we played Wright State my first match, and there was about 75 people in the stands in 2005. You know, it's incredible, you know, and it's an awesome feeling to be part of something special right now, and you know, the tough part is sustaining it and continuing on. So very proud and very driven at the same time.
You've got those 3 games to date under your belt, but still it's early in the season. Does it feel different? Maybe it's different for maybe even as a team moving into a season as a defending national champions?
Yeah, I mean, you hear a lot more about it. I mean, you're asked about it. You know, people comment about it. I mean, there's no question it's definitely there. I gotta say that in practice and then during matches, it doesn't feel a whole lot different. I mean, luckily we have some leadership that understands, you know, that we do have a target on our back and understands how hard it is to do it, and they need to get better each and every day. So, you know, when you're around people like that, it makes it pretty easy to focus on the task at hand because, you know, like I said last week, the parity in our sport this year is unbelievable. And if the first week is any indication with all the great teams that are winning matches, it's going to be, you know, one of the best years in collegiate volleyball that I could ever remember.
Greg, as I'm watching the game and learning a little bit more about it, I'm always amazed by how athletic the players are. I'm actually kind of surprised there aren't more injuries than there are. You kind of briefly mentioned Jordan's injury. First of all, how's she doing? How's her mindset? How's the team reacted to it? And generally, how do injuries fit into what you've done as a coach over the years? I don't remember a whole lot of real significant season enders.
I mean, injuries certainly happen in our sport. I mean, and the majority of them happen when they land. I mean, as high as they jump, you said how athletic they are. I mean, they're jump touching over 10 feet and landing repeatedly. So we train landing a lot. Our strength coaches train landing a lot and how to do it properly. Jordan's doing great. She's obviously in a tough situation being a freshman and not being able to play the sport she loves this year, but just met with her this morning and she's in a very good place and learning a lot, and our team has been unbelievably supportive. We take injury prevention very seriously. We start obviously with our strength program and how we prepare our bodies to the rigors of our sport. This year is even tougher because we're playing 2 seasons in 1 calendar year. So we've given more days off already this preseason than we have ever. But recovery is very, very important, and also jump count. You know, when we are in practice and training, if we ask our players to jump 250 times in practice, we're not going to last very long. So we have to be very selective about what we train and understand that, you know, obviously injuries are tough in every sport, and so doing our best to keep people healthy is priority number 1.
Last time you spoke, Coach, you said that this year's group of defensive players might be the best you've ever had here. Did last week's performances reinforce that?
Yes, we dug some balls that I was very impressed with. We'll see. We haven't played a top 10 team yet, or a team competing for a national championship yet. But this weekend we're going to face some really good teams. But to hold 3 teams under 20 points and the hitting percentage that we did last weekend says a lot about our ability. I think we're 3rd in the country in hitting efficiency, preventing teams. So very promising things, and also amazingly a lot of things that we didn't do well defensively. So hopefully we can iron those things out this weekend and next.
Is defense more harder to coach than offense? I know in basketball, usually the defense is a little bit ahead of the offense during this time. Same with football. How about in volleyball?
No, I wouldn't say it's harder to coach. I mean, they're equally difficult. I think that what I've always believed is that you can't prepare for a good defense, so we better be good defensively. We can prepare for offenses. The problem in volleyball is there are varieties of offenses, so you have to be prepared for a quick offense, a high offense, a combination offense, a spread offense. I mean, there's all these offenses that aren't exactly clear to the common fan, but we have to be prepared for them. So, eye sequencing is really important. Following the ball, is it an overpass? Is it going to a setter? Is it fast? Is it low? And then eye sequencing after the ball's set. Is it landing inside? Is it landing outside? Is it landing off the net? So your defense is set up based on where the set location is. So rehearsing that in several different ways in practice is important. If you just dig some balls, you're not going to be very good defensively. You have to be good with your eyes and your feet.
Do you feel better offense or defense at this particular point of the season?
That's a good question. I think last weekend, it's hard to tell. I don't know yet. I think that we were good both offensively. We hit 340 and held those opponents to what we did last weekend. I feel like it takes longer to smooth out your offense because, again, it's like a quarterback and receivers. And so when you have a freshman setter, delivering the ball to these attackers, it takes a little bit more time to smooth it out. And when you play against big, more physical teams like we will this weekend, that's when you kind of find out where you are. So I can't tell you yet.
I guess just looking at,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, just looking at what Emma did last weekend, I mean, you kind of mentioned, including the freshmen, and, it might take some time to get adjusted, but what did you see from her, and obviously with more matches to come, but just the initial start to her college career?
Her composure was really good. She didn't get flustered if something didn't work or a set that wasn't where it needed to be. She just moved on to the next play. She has great vision, great reaction time, is able to move on and get to the next point quickly. And her athleticism is very good. She's also very good defensively. You notice her, you're going to see her dig some balls that a lot of setters can't just because of her athleticism and speed. And she just has a good demeanor about her that makes people around her feel comfortable. And I think that's very important. The setter touches the ball most on your side of the net. You're the one that's looked at the most on your side of the net. So if you have a composed, calm demeanor, it makes everyone else feel pretty good.
Craig, last year was the most grueling in the history of college volleyball, given where the workouts began and then all the way to the championship. You credited your seniors with leadership throughout that process, and obviously it paid off. What have you seen in the leadership department so far with this group, which is sort of new and then sort of old?
Well, they're just so aware of situations. Our captains, Stumler, Scheitzak, and Thieler, and then, Lauren Tharp, other senior. I mean, those guys have been through the battles over and over again. But they've also been the ones that are always ready every day for practice. If it's Monday, they're ready to get better. If it's Tuesday, they're ready to get better. If it's Thursday, obviously they're getting more amped up for the weekend. And they don't seem to really know what the moment is. And, it's the first point of the match or the last point of the match. And so I would say this group of upperclassmen, seniors, and captains is equally as composed and driven leadership-wise as last year's.
What was it like to look out there and not see Madison for the first time?
Oh, I mean, it's tough. I mean, you love coaching kids like Madison. You love coaching kids like Gabby and Avery and Kendall, and you miss them because they bring so many great things to your team. You're also proud at the same time because they're still very excited about the people behind them, and they laid a foundation for us to springboard off. And every team is is unique, and this one is certainly no different that way.
Anything else for Coach? Awesome. Thank you for coming. We'll see you tomorrow.